that gutted a trailer home in North Fargo. The call came in just before midnight about flames at 33 East Lindmar. That's in the Trollwood neighborhood.
Fire officials say it was a full fire that took about 20 minutes to put out. Crews were told that the trailer was vacant, but they did 2 searches just to make sure. Snow and slush turning into an icy mess now on our roads, and that could make for a dangerous morning drive.
The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod is out checking out the road conditions, so you know what you can expect before you head out the door. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Jordan. Lisa, slippery is definitely the right word. If you look down right here, you can see that this is the slippery part of the sidewalk. You can't even really tell it's a sidewalk. And when you're dusting over this snow, there's just slippery ice here. Now, with my foot, you can see how easily it slides, which means I could fall if I didn't keep my balance. That could show you the same problem that vehicles has as they're driving down this roadway. Now, as I'm backing up, this is one of the roadways, if you can tell it's a roadway. All of this is slippery, so you could literally slide your foot just as slippery as the sidewalk is. Another problem that roadways are going to hit. This is what we would call a residential roadway, and what that means is this is going to be cleared up less likely than a primary road. Primary roads are going to be the more of a focus than the slippery sidewalks would be as well. So the snow plows, that's where they come into focus, and I can let you know what they do. So before they do anything, Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead make sure to check their equipment. They want to make sure everyone on the roadway is going to be safe as they're doing their equipment stuff. I also want to let you know that they have between 15 to 25 of these plowers. That's 15 for about Moorhead and West Fargo, and Fargo has about 25. Now, each department focuses on the most traveled roadways first. The neighborhoods you live in come immediately after that. These operators say not to park your cars on city streets while they are clearing them. It takes them longer than usual if their snowplows cannot fit through the spaces. Now, for emergency purposes, they ask drivers to be patient and not to try to pass the snowplows as well. The operators are focusing on clearing the roads and are not likely to see you. This makes the situation dangerous for the driver and snowplow operators. Now, in many snowy conditions, the cities tell me that it takes them between 10 to 14 hours to clear the entire city. That's a lot of time, so you want to be patient and be cautious. Also want to let you know that they say to leave earlier. The worst thing you want to do is speed to get to where you need to go. You're slipping and you end up running into one of these snowplows, or better yet, anything at all. They also say just to make sure that you're just being cautious on these roadways because, like we just said, they are slippery, and like I just showed you, they are very slippery.
Great reminders. Brian Sherrod reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. Now, that blast of wet snow is also weighing down a lot of tree branches around the FM Metro. Take a look at this picture. A branch from a large elm at 9th Street and 18th Avenue South in Fargo is hanging so low over the road that even small cars are hitting it.
Some drivers, they're not taking any chances. They just drove around the trouble. We all know that it could snap at any moment. And this snow, well, it might not be going anywhere. In fact, coming up, we have more on the way. I know, I'm sorry, no one wants to hear it. But here with more on what to expect, meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. At least we're warning you. At least you'll hear about this and you'll be prepared for it. Yeah, we've had some snow lately that has been really impactful, especially yesterday's events. This is some snow reports, a list of them from the Valley. Ortonville, 8 inches of snow down in that Big Stone County area. Victor, South Dakota, just over the line, 4 inches of snow there. Ellendale had 3.5. In Fargo, 3.5. And at the National Weather Service office in Grand Forks, they had 1.5 inches of snow. Not as much, but that is a daily record for them. So we saw some early season snow impact us, and we've got more on the way again as we look ahead into the forecast. Right now, we're in kind of a relative break. We're still dealing with the impacts of yesterday's events, and of course, today still have some areas of some fog, some low clouds up north, and maybe even some flurries still going on, though you see the snow showers that were happening early this morning are dwindling north of Highway 2. That's good to see. There's some snow south and west of us I'm going to keep an eye on for today. That should mainly pass to our south until we get into the nighttime hours tonight when our next round moves in. Here's a look at our temperatures, 20s to some low 30s. So we've been watching those numbers drop overnight, and we're well below freezing now in a lot of places. So some of those slushy spots, those wet roads, may be freezing over this morning, and the DOT has been indicating that on their maps. And you could go to our website or on our apps as well. The news and weather apps have links to all of the tri-state area DOT maps out there, so you can get a look at the latest conditions where you are. So that bus stop forecast, be careful out there. We're looking at temperatures below freezing heading into school today too, and we'll see a mix of some clouds and sunshine this morning, but we'll see more clouds heading into the afternoon afternoon. Temperatures do rise above freezing in a lot of places, but not everybody gets there. So not much of a warm up today as we head into the afternoon hours. Heading into tonight, here comes that storm, and a winter storm watch takes effect late for many areas in the valley in blue here. So Highway 2 corridor and south, essentially, that's where we're expecting the most snow, and we could see more than 6 inches of snow and may get blown around by some wind that picks up during the day tomorrow. Here's a look at the latest snowfall potential. Greatest threat will be in the south. We're looking at 6+ inches there. That line of heaviest snow could shift a little farther north or south, so that's the thing to watch here. But bottom line is Southern Valley expecting more, and then we take a little break from the snow, but not the cold as we head into the rest of the forecast.
Not a break from the cold. Oh, and the snow. All right, Lisa, not what a lot of people want to hear, but thank you for warning us. New this morning, a North Dakota man is now dead after his SUV crashed into a tractor that was pulling a cultivator in the Southern Valley. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the driver of the tractor was trying to move to the shoulder of Highway 81 near Fairmount when the victim's car hit the front of the tractor head-on.
That driver was taken to the Breckenridge Hospital where he died. Troopers are not yet releasing the victim's name, but do say he was a 71-year-old man from Fairmount. The driver of the tractor wasn't hurt. Also new this morning, 3 men are hurt, one critically, after a 3-car crash on a snowy Minnesota highway. State troopers say one driver lost control of his car near Motley yesterday afternoon, hit an oncoming vehicle on the highway, then was hit by a 3rd car.
20-year-old Arnie Caval of St. Cloud was then rushed to the St. Cloud Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The other 2 drivers were not seriously hurt. The state of North Dakota is going DIY for COVID contact tracing. Public health officials will no longer be contacting the close contacts of people who test positive for COVID-19.
The state health department says that's because their contact tracers are overwhelmed by the recent amount of positive cases, and people aren't cooperating with them. So here's the new protocol. If you test positive for coronavirus in North Dakota, the state is expecting you to notify all of your close contacts. From there, you need to direct them to the state's Department of Health website, where the state is creating pages with videos and written instructions explaining what the person should do next. The time it's taking to notify a person of a positive result has increased from 24 to 72 hours, creating a backlog of positive cases waiting to be assigned a case investigator.
Governor Doug Burgum says that he is shifting resources. 50 North Dakota National Guard soldiers will go from acting as contact tracers to working to provide people with their results as quickly as possible. The governor says the switch should eliminate the backlog by tomorrow. The state is also working on an automatic notification system to alert a person who tests positive. That system is already delivering automated notifications to people who have a negative test result.
Another mask mandate in the FM Metro may be coming. West Fargo city leaders are meeting at 10 this morning to consider the idea. A mandate has been in place in Fargo since Monday, and many business owners say they're grateful for Mayor Tim Mahoney's executive order that put a citywide mask mandate in place. Now, there's not a penalty yet for not wearing a face covering, but you can be asked to leave a business for not wearing one.
And if you refuse to leave, that would be against the law. Now, if you're arrested, you could wind up paying a $500 fine. Several businesses in downtown Fargo have been dealing with the backlash to wear masks for months, but they say they're trying to work with the people who don't want to cover up.
To those individuals, we've just told them that we're available online for their orders or anything they may need, and we're happy to take orders over the phone.
You can find a link to today's West Fargo meeting on our VNL News app.
North Dakota's daily positivity rate for COVID-19 is now near 20% as health officials report a record of more than 1,000 cases in the past day. Yesterday's update of 1,036 new cases lifted the total number of COVID-19 cases statewide to 33,666 since the pandemic started.
Governor Doug Burgum has resisted issuing an order to require a statewide mask mandate, even as the numbers continue to soar. 4 new deaths were also reported, bringing the death toll now to 412. West Fargo Public Schools just released a rough timeline of when pre-K through 5th grade students can go back to in-person learning. Harwood and Legacy Elementary Schools could be the first 2 to bring students back 4 days a week. In November, students won't be in the classroom on Wednesdays.
The district says both schools distributed their re-entry plans to families on Monday, pending authorization of changes from the school board at its October 26 meeting. All elementary buildings are planning for a full 5-day re-entry by November 30th. West Fargo firefighters are urging people to adopt a hydrant to take care of this winter. Now, they say a shoveled-out fire plug will help them save time and save lives.
There are more than 2,000 hydrants in West Fargo alone, which makes it difficult for the department to maintain during the winter months. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: according to a recent survey, what is the #1 thing that people judge about your home?
The answer is the smell. Remember, you can play along every weekday. Just head to the Valley News Live Facebook page. And we were just notified by our producer some other news today. It is the final day of the historic Moorhead Dairy Queen open for the season.
Grab that dilly bar. Perfect day, a cold morning to have some cold ice cream.
The ice cream won't melt.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live, up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.